you. And they're not letting anyone inside the hospital. So that was like, if we were to come out there, it'll probably, they wouldn't be able to let us in, because of what's going
Right.
on. But they're giving us updates and everything. So I'm really just thankful. You just can't be so quick to write people off. You got to be patient, and you just got to keep that faith strong and that belief. That's when the belief system start working, when you strongly believe. So I thank you. I thank you all for your prayers. I thank you all for reaching out and all that great stuff. And I'm thankful for this community, you all. You guys really helped me just stay sane,
Wow. Well, Latoya, I'm so happy to hear that news. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I'm just going to do my welcome, and then I'm going to ask RBP to do a blessing since it is Sunday and it is Mother's Day, but it is Mother's Day every day. I don't think we should let a calendar guide us on that. That's just my personal opinion. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Misfit Call. It is Sunday, May 10th, Mother's Day. It is the weekend edition. It is episode 455. Yesterday's episode, 444, I bet there's something special about that, was handled by all of you all. So with that being said, RBP, if you've got a moment to just say blessing over us for a Sunday morning. No. Why? So yesterday it was perfect.
It was so nice and clear. What happened?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. Maybe I should just say, okay, you got this call again, and so she's working on that. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So is there anybody else that would like to say blessing this morning? If not,
I will.
Okay, Titus, go ahead.
Heavenly Father, I just thank you, Lord God, for all that you're doing and all the blessings in our lives, and especially our mother, Lord, as we just take this time, Lord, to just be grateful and thankful for all the goodness that you pour out into our lives. And we just pray for the families out there that are separated, for the kids that are away from their moms and the moms that are away from their children. Lord, we just pour out an anointing and a blessing upon their lives. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Titus, thank you for that. I don't know if is this your first time here today? No, I don't think so. Is it?
It is.
Hey, well, a great way to show up big time.
Titus. Thank you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Sean Murphy. I'm your head misfit. We started these calls back December 18th, 2018, and they started with me saying, get out of my way. Get out of the way that kept me from reaching some of my truths, some of my goals. So it's been an amazing 455 episodes, but what makes it amazing is each and every one of you. See, anybody could do this. What we do on a regular basis is have conversations every morning. On the weekends, it's at 8:30, and on the weekdays, it's at 6:30 a.m. And what we do is we do our best to get out of our own way. So again, big happy Mother's Day to all of the moms in the room and all of your moms here or not here, because it's just, moms are special. The Dalai Lama said, the world will be saved by the Western woman. I believe that if we just take the word Western out, I believe that statement is even more true. So good morning, everybody. Great to have you here. And again, Titus, thank you for that blessing. So finding your secret. Well, first of all, let me ask this. Who was on yesterday's call? If you were on yesterday's call, type 2 in the chat. Type a 2 in the chat if you were on yesterday's call. So here's what I'd like to ask you. Yeah, I heard some amazing stories. Y'all did amazing yesterday. And Ronda and Monique and everybody else who participated and joined, thank you for that. What was your big takeaway from yesterday's call? Because it went a while. It was one of those 3-hour calls, because I was in the middle of a break, getting ready to go on break, and Ronda goes, we're just getting ready to wrap up. I'm like, what? What time is it? So if you want to raise your hand and share what you pick up from yesterday? What'd you learn from yesterday? That would be, I'd love to hear it since I wasn't there and I didn't get to listen to the recording yet. Anybody want to share? Jessica, good morning, Jessica. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jessica.
How are you?
Outstanding, my love.
Good. I am too. Good morning, everyone. It's my birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
to you. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
to
you. Are we gonna
you.
sing?
Happy birthday, dear Jessica. Happy birthday.
Birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Jessica.
Happy birthday.
Woo, happy
Oh, thank
birthday,
you.
Jessica. Many more to you.
Oh, it means so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have all of you. And I thought, I have to be on Sean's call today. I have to listen to it. But yesterday was so good. And I feel like the lesson yesterday was you have to love yourself first. I think with everyone talking about everything.
And loving yourself first. Why? So, and here's the crazy thing. Why do we think it's so difficult? What makes it so difficult?
I think it's something you said once, Sean. You said when you give and give and give, you forget what it's like to receive. You forget what it's like to be, for someone to say thank you or do something, and you say, hold on a minute, they didn't have to do that, and they went out of their way to say thank you. Or it's that child. You ever get a child that, say they drop something and you pick it up for them, and the child says, they're 3 years old, and they say thank you, and you think, oh wow, that's amazing. It's those little things, isn't it?
It is those little things. And we live in such a world of addiction to approval that we feel we have to be constantly in a state of I don't want to say lack, but in a state of having our energy drawn away in order to have value. It's okay for people to say thank you to us. It's okay for people to give to us. And it's okay for us to give to ourselves, to sit quietly on your birthday and let us sing to you and go, oh, they're singing to me. Yes. Yeah, it's okay to feel that way. So thank you for sharing that. Happy birthday again. And
thank you so much.
We appreciate
and also, my mum, she got me a book of an A to Z dictionary of dreams. Oh. So now I don't have to ask you what my dreams mean anymore.
That's awesome. And for those of you not in the UK, Z is Z.
Oh, so I promise my American accent will get better. I'll work on it.
That's cool. And for those of you that have just recently joined us, that have been part of the Misfit community, Latoya, can you give us another update on your brother for those people that may have come in a little bit late?
Yes, sure. For those who are just joining, my brother's progressing. He's opening his eyes. He's doing really good now. Vital signs and everything showing stable. And I just once again want to thank you all, this amazing community. Right now they're just monitoring his heart to see where he's at, and it's just a matter of days. He could be leaving the hospital as well. So I just want to thank you all for your positive energy and your prayers, and just calling me and all the great things, the text. I love it all. So I thank you all. I'm thankful for being part of this amazing community.
And thanks for bringing us that update, and thanks for allowing us to pray with you, pray for you, and for you coming onto the call the other day when it was just almost unbearable. So thanks, Latoya. We love you and blessings on you.
Yes, love you all as well. Thank you.
What an amazing community. So yeah, the last 2 days, it is the last 2 days. I've been in an event with Kyle Wilson, and who was Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years. He's the reason Jim Rohn became as prolific. If you've ever bought a Jim Rohn item, right, his journal, one of his little quote books or anything like that, it most likely went through the hands of Kyle Wilson and his team, Jim Rohn International. Kyle is a very dear friend. I've been part of his Innercircle for the last 5 years, one of the founding members. And then we also had, along with Kyle was Ron White, the two-time U.S. memory champion. Yeah, that was powerful to sit through Kyle's marketing messages and to sit through Ron White's memory messages. Titus, were you in that event yesterday? Maybe not. Okay. So one of the things that's interesting about memory is that it's a muscle. When people say I have bad memories or I have bad this or bad that, I can't remember people's names. There's a reason why you can't, and there's some science behind it. So probably this week I'll be giving you some tips on how to remember people's names and some things that you could do that Ron taught us, because it's important in our profession. It's important in every profession, but our profession is building people. It's not necessarily network marketing. Our profession is building people. So and it's everything from just learning people's names to remembering how to remember speeches, how to remember conversations, how to remember your notes, how to teach your children how to study better and how to remember facts. It's real easy. I mean, it's kind of amazing what we went through in that. So, but what I wanted to touch on today is a little bit about finding your secret sauce. Kyle spent a lot of time on that yesterday. Finding your secret sauce. I'm going to give you 2 out of the 6 things today. Maybe if we get to it, we'll see. But I see Dakaya's hand is up. Good morning, Dakaya. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean.
How are you?
I'm all right. I've had a very fun night. My friend over there sleeping. It's her birthday today as well. So, 2 things. So yesterday's takeaway was, for me, was that it's easier to show up in that mask, and it's easier to, I guess in a way, show up even if it's not a conscious agenda, to do things with expectation to receive. And in that way, it kind of helps us to point the finger at everyone but ourselves. And that's why it's so easy. I love the way Ronda put it for us. She was like, why is it that we can set an alarm and wake up on the first one for someone else, but we have to press snooze for ourselves? And so that was my takeaway from it. And then I actually had a question for you, Sean, and I was like, what's your earliest, most innocent, childhood memory, but that was still a letdown for you? Because my friend the other day, she was she won a little spelling bee, and I guess she got second or third or whatnot, but her parents were just like, you didn't win anyway, so just throw it away. And I was like, oh. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you don't realize how those little things count. And I was thinking about mine, and I didn't really get to think look, John, I was having fun last night. It was her 21st birthday. We're 2 weeks apart, and we really got to hang out, okay? Let me just put it like that. So I didn't get to think very much yesterday. So I wanted to ask you.
So what's a childhood memory of mine that seemed
that was innocent, but it was almost a little bit of a letdown?
Well, one of the ones that was how do I say it? It was a great memory, but it turned out to be in a wildly embarrassing moment. And I don't know, I guess I'll tell it. It was T-ball. I was in 2nd or 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how, t-ball, right, for kids.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like there's a whole lot of activity going on.
Right.
Well, in one inning, right, when
Mhm.
everybody's going through batting, I was out in left field and I was able to stop the ball and I threw it to second base and we got somebody out. And so that was like to actually me throw it. Well, I'm a farm boy at the time, so I could throw and the other kid could catch. So it was the perfect throw, the perfect catch, and we got the kid out and we were like superstars. Well, when we come in and then we go back out, we get our up at bat, and then I go back out into left field. But have you ever been embarrassed to not like want to draw attention to yourself?
Yes.
Well, I did that because I didn't want to tell anybody I had to go pee.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, right down the old drain we're going. And so out left field there, and we couldn't get anybody out in that inning. So I was in the outfield a lot longer than I anticipated.
And that's tough. Oh my gosh.
So,
Oh my goodness.
yep.
Yeah.
Do I run to the fence? Do I pee through the fence? Do I do this? Nope.
Right. There's nowhere to go.
Stand right there, like I was at the beach, in the water. And I wasn't at the beach and I wasn't in the water. So now y'all have a story on me. But that was one of those ones. It's like, no, I mean, that was, how old was I? 8?
Mm-hmm.
So 54 minus 8, that's how many years ago it was, and it's instantly there.
Wow.
Did you get
You know
teased
what?
about it forever, or was it just your own?
Well, I don't know, because I was the biggest kid on the team, and kids tried to mess with me before, and they would get hurt just because they'd bounce off of me. So I don't know, but it's just something I felt totally useless about, and that oh my God, I can't believe I peed my pants. Right, all of the stories and all of the things, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's a buddy of mine he was on the 5th Super Bowl. Jack Maitland played for the Colts, and they win the Super Bowl, the 5th Super Bowl. The Baltimore Colts win, or maybe they were Baltimore at the time. I'm not a football fan. They won, and then he goes to the Patriots the next year. He says, I'd never gone from the penthouse to the outhouse so fast. And so that story rings true to me as well, but literally the outhouse. So yeah,
Right.
that's a moment.
And you know what? Now listening to yours, I kind of have one too where I almost had like where Sharon was saying, was anybody like talking about it afterwards? And so I actually remember as a kid, I had this best friend. Her name was Kitty, and I don't really actually know her real name. I was like, that was kind of weird. But anyways, she was this really like, gorgeous young Hawaiian girl, and she had long hair. And she asked me to give her a haircut. And so you know what happened? I gave her a haircut, Sean. And it was like, everybody was so mad around us, but like we were the happiest as can be. And then when her mom took her to get like to the shop as well, she was just so happy. And then I just remember like, I don't remember, I think she moved back to Hawaii. And then after that, like,
Probably
but it was
the haircut.
Oh no, it was that was due to more so relationship problems like with
Right.
her mom and stuff. So I don't know why I remember that so vividly, but it was so monumental because it was just like we were both just as happy as can be, and we're just like, why are they so mad? But my family makes a joke out of it because, I mean, now that I think of it, that's like the biggest, like, not say the biggest, but that was just the funniest thing to them. So it was a running joke for a long time. They're like, at least Jakai's not going to cut my hair. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Dakai, and please wish your friend a happy birthday today.
Okay, I will.
That's too funny. Hey, Liz, you have your hand up. Oh, just a second. Liz has got to go outside. She's going to tell us the secret winning lottery numbers.
All right, can you guys hear me?
Yes, good morning, Liz.
Good morning, you guys. I just wanted to say thank you so much for yesterday to everybody, because I was the one who graduated yesterday, and I was feeling like a little bit down about not going to commencement. And because of Rhonda, I swear, she told me to put a post-it note and write down, like, come celebrate. Oh God, it's cold outside. Oh, I'm gonna have to make this short. It's like, I live in Cleveland, so it's
Oh,
freezing. Oh,
have we spoken? I grew up in Chardon, Ohio.
yeah, I think
Okay.
we talked for a second, like, on Nano,
Okay, good. So
because
keep
I
going.
have the,
Cold out. Keep going.
yeah. But anyways, I made the sign and I put it on my mask, and it said, "Today's my graduation day. Like,
I
celebrate with
saw
me." And I
that.
put like this,
I
and
saw
I
that
put a
picture.
smiley face on it, and it was so cool. Like, I went to a couple grocery stores because I had to get stuff, and everybody like went like this, like, "What's that say?" And they're like, "Oh, congratulations!" And then I had like some other people were like, "Oh, what'd you do? Graduate high school?" I was like, seriously? They're like, "Well, we can't tell with the mask on." I was like, "No, college, thank you." Like, it just, I don't know, it just made my day. And then the post that I posted, I like had such an abundance of like just happy messages from everybody that like has been in my life. And so many of them were like private too, and they were so touching. And I was just like smiling all day yesterday. So I just wanted to
Yay! I love you, Elizabeth. Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you so much. It was so awesome.
That's so cool, Elizabeth. Rhonda, look at that. Congratulations on sharing just a little simple sticky note.
Yay!
Yeah. Post-it notes. They go a long way.
That's
They
so
keep my
cool.
life.
And so here's the thing. Part of the thing is letting people give them a chance to congratulate you. That's the neat part. That's what made people excited, is they've in this moment of just total chaos and people wearing masks, they got to find a reason to look at somebody with a mask and congratulate them on something that they had been missing out on. Maybe their kids had graduated too and they couldn't do whatever it is, a whole variety of things. So thank you for being a source of joy. And then when you're a source of it, you also get to receive it. Thanks, Liz.
For
That's
sure.
awesome.
Thank you.
How cool is that? Yay. Too cool. Awesome. RBP, is your signal working again?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'll try my camera. Okay. I'm afraid to try my camera because sometimes I can get the audio and not the camera, or the camera and not the audio. So it's doing okay right now.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Hear you great.
Yeah. So yeah, that was so cool, Elizabeth. I shared that too. And I'm going to take some screenshots of the stuff I get off of Facebook of people congratulating you as well. Perfect strangers, but everybody's always looking for a place to spread some joy and congratulate people. So that was so cool what you did with your mask. I'm so proud of you. That was amazing. Thanks for letting me speak that over you and give me a chance to put some more smiles down the world too.
That's awesome. Yay. Very cool. Rhonda, what did you take away from yesterday?
I took away a lot yesterday. Well, there's some things I took away that I don't want to say, and there's some things I took away that I do want to say. Sean knows me well. That's why he can giggle. The things I took away that I would like to say, probably one or two of them, is the perfect love from perfect strangers is quite inspiring, and I'm kind of awestruck that people would stick around and hang with me. And I don't say listen to me, because I let y'all talk more, or I tried to, and I got to listen a lot. And for y'all to hang with me for a couple hours, that set my heart on fire. And y'all helped me learn so much about myself. Y'all helped me learn so much about the way I think and the way I feel. And you helped me learn how to show up for people without any kind of agenda. Because I sat there with no agenda, absolutely no agenda. I just sat there and kept getting out of the way. So in case anything needed to come downloading to me, if the Holy Spirit had anything for me to share or speak, it wouldn't be clouded by my judgment and it wouldn't be clouded by my voice. It would be his voice, his words through my voice. And y'all gave me a huge chance on that. And I got so tickled about how long we went. And I kept getting tickled updating Sean. And I am so grateful that you guys extend the trust that you did to allow me to hear the stories that you usually feel super comfortable telling Sean. And Sean was there, although he wasn't there. And y'all let me kind of be the surrogate, and you trusted me. And I don't think I've ever had that many women trust me ever in my life. And guys too. So I learned a lot. So thanks. I love y'all.
And it's hard to have an agenda when you show up and go, hey, Rhonda, you're in charge. I got to go. Bye.
Yeah. Right. So yeah.
Just thank you, everybody, for supporting each other, for being there for each other, for helping Pink Robe Lady out as she stepped into a role that might have been a little unexpected for her. So, because I always tell her, I've threatened before. I've threatened before, going, listen, you're going to run the call today. She's like, don't you do that to me. But yesterday was a little bit more of
in Big Brother fashion.
Hey, I got to go.
No, in Big Brother fashion, he throws me out there. Yeah.
So.
Thank you, though. I love y'all.
So understanding all that's what happens every day. Every day we're asked to do things, and being able to step into your journey. I'm going to share with you some notes from yesterday's event. If you'd like that, if anybody like to see notes from my 2-day event, type an N in the chat if you'd like to see some of the notes. Okay, cool.
Yes, please.
All right. So let me share. What do I do here? I share this here. Share screen. Where is it? It's over here. It's over there. And then slideshow, play from start. Can somebody give me a verbal that you can see that? Because you guys all seem to disappear when I do that.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So finding your secret sauce. It's not just desire that's lacking. Listen, many of you get very passionate about what you do. Many of you get very excited about what you do. You have tremendous desire, and you keep getting stuck. It seems like you keep hitting the wall, the proverbial wall. It's not that you lack desire. It's just you got a bad plan. And I know that kind of stings on a Sunday morning, but that's the only reason. Because when you row your boat gently down your stream, life changes forever. It changes forever. Listen, I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a Zoom guy. I'm not a production guy. But for the last 2 days, I got to run the behind the scenes for Kyle Wilson and Ron White. Why? Because I show up. My secret sauce is showing up and making the world a better place, putting smiles in the world, but doing it so that I don't put myself in the poorhouse. And I create relationships. What did Jim Rohns say? Become valuable to valuable people. So that's what allowed me to do that, and that's what's allowing me to bring you these slides, because I'd make a pretty big bet that of the 100 people that attended that event the last 2 days, few of them are doing a training on Sunday about what they learned. So now I'm bringing value to more valuable people, and that's you. So you may want to take some screenshots on some of this stuff. Where do I go here? Over here. Procrastination is equal to poverty. Ooh, snap. I can't do that right now. I'm tired. I can't do that right now. My show's about to come on. The antithesis of procrastination is action. Money loves speed. It doesn't have to be fast. Speed means moving. Listen, a snail moving is faster than a snail sitting. Money loves speed. So procrastination is equal to poverty. Poor people procrastinate a lot. Now, what are the 5 areas of life that you can procrastinate in? Family, finance, body, mind, society, and if you're spiritual, like I am, there's a 6th one, in spirit. Where do you procrastinate? Do you procrastinate in finances? Do you procrastinate in family? Do you procrastinate in society? Yesterday, Liz did not procrastinate in society. Unbeknownst to her, she started a charity, and the charity was Bring Your Joy to Me. Donate your joy to me. That was the charity, and she enjoyed it. And I think it's cute that they thought you were in high school. Listen, in 20 years, you'll be wishing for that. Right? So Liz, thank you for sharing that. What will you avoid procrastinating now? I'm looking over here. So I'm looking away from the camera because I see comments being made. I just want to see if there's anything I need to address. So that's just, why won't you let me? It's more important to build your audience than it is to build your product or service. Now, this is going to hit some of you right square in the belly. Many of you are worrying about building you count your likes on social media. You count your followers on social media as something of value. You do not own any of that. It's important that you build your audience. Go get, it's not, I'll think of it in a second. I'm trying to think of one of the email services, not Constant Contact, not MailChimp. There's another one, and I'll think of it if somebody can think of it in the
Aweber.
Aweber, yes, Aweber, please. Yeah, go get Aweber for $15. Start building an audience. Use an Excel spreadsheet if you don't want to get Aweber. Just start building an email audience. Have people send it to your personal email.
Get response.
Yep. The key is build your audience. When you build your audience, you start to build, right? We've heard it said the size of your net worth is the size of your network. And these are slides from Kyle. Here's something you might want to write down. The size of your success is determined by the size of your audience. How do you relate to them? How do you serve them? Right now, your audience, if it's on social media, how do you serve them? Do you serve them by putting up another post? Do you serve them by delivering content? Or do you serve them by putting up your photo shots, your photos of you sitting somewhere, staring off into the sunset, looking at a building? What value are you bringing your audience? Many of you, your businesses would catapult ahead in business if people could come to you and find some value that's outside of what they think you're trying to sell them. Many of you are in the trading world, and all they hear you talk about is trading. In your stories, all you show is blips of this going up and that going down and you making money and this and happening. What's the rounded out value add? If you were a dinner, listen, everybody's going to get tired of just green beans or filet mignon or Godiva chocolate. Now, some of you are going to argue with me on that one. Oh, by the way, I'm going to remind you now, make sure we send out our 3 messages of joy, of gratitude, of hope, of love. I would possibly include some folks who are moms maybe in that list today, little extra notifications. So that being said, let me just click this here real quick. Just check that. Yes. Okay, good, done. Thanks everybody. And for those of you that are new to to the community. I usually ask when we start in the morning, send out 3 messages of gratitude, of joy, of love, so that you could create space for yourself for more gratitude, love, and joy to show up. All right, let's go on with the slides. The size of your belief will determine the size of your success. That one, I mean, these are all truths. So if you look at the size of your success, if you look at Lewis down in Puerto Rico, amazing young soul, started a mentorship group. Now, he's in his 20s, started a mentorship group, had 5, now has like 30 people on the call, maybe 40 people on the call, and they last a couple hours, these calls, but it's people masterminding, right? Napoleon Hill says in his book, when 2 people get together, a third mind is created. That's the mastermind. It says in the good book, right? When 2 of you shall gather, I am there. And please don't quote me on verse, and if I say it wrong, I'm still a neophyte when it comes to the Bible. But the size of your belief will determine the size of your success. Anybody ever heard Dave Ramsey and how much financial information that he gives? He never became a certified financial planner, yet he makes 100 times more than the average financial planner. How does that happen? How does that happen? It happens because he brings value. Why do people pay him so much? Because he brings value. What are you doing to bring value to your marketplace? Yesterday, I spent 2 days with these guys. That's Ron White in the white shirt and Kyle Wilson, Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years. Ron White's the 2-time U.S. memory champion. He held the record for memorizing a deck of cards the fastest of anybody. So, and he's been teaching memory classes. He teaches around the world. He teaches around the world memory classes and memory trainings. He's been paid upwards of $25,000 to sit with senators to teach them how to memorize speeches. But these are the guys that I spent some time with. You're going to be seeing some more of them when you hear me talk about them. I wanted to introduce you to them because they're going to be doing some more seminars, some more trainings, and they're going to be doing them virtually. And I'm going to invite you to attend some of those. But here's the thing again. Make sure, yeah, no, not allowed in casinos. Make sure you're doing some social proof. Right? In today's world, social proof is critical. So you may not think of it as important, but there's me and Kyle, and I'm one of 2 instructors, Kyle and Ron. I was asked to come on, and Kyle interviewed me, and he talked about this call. He says, because what you've done with the Daily Awakening call, he says, I'm just always amazed. He says, you're in your 400th episode, 400 plus episode? Yes, I am. Suffering succotash. But this is social proof. What do you have for social proof for things outside your marketplace? This is how you bring value. I think Bakumi asked, how do you bring value? Value is what people will pay for. Nothing is overpriced. It's undervalued. That's why you'll go someplace and buy a steak dinner for $100 a plate, and you can go to the grocery store and buy a similar cut of beef for maybe $25. You can drink wine out of a bottle with, and this used to be a cut down on wine if it had a screw top on it. Years ago, screw tops would be like, oh, that's like a cheap wine. But now you can get wine in a box that's brilliantly made and has high numbers. So I say all of that to say I would encourage you to find ways to have social proof. Now, when you do something like this, am I promoting Kyle Wilson? Absolutely. But if I promote me, it's bragging. If Kyle says something nice about me, that's called edification. Can you find places? Can you go to your social media right now and ask people, hey, how would you define me? What value would you say I bring to the marketplace? And then you know what? Those turn into memes. It's not about you promoting you. It's about what other people are saying about you. I promise you, if you're not working to build your brand outside of your company, What happens, God forbid, if something happened to your company yesterday? You follow me? I don't want anything to happen to your company. I hope all of our companies are around for 5 generations, 10 generations. My point is, though, is that I see many of you building your company and totally 100% all you talk about is the name of your company and what you do. And if people see that everywhere, how do you step out from the noise? How do you step out from the noise? So, yeah, I get to call Kyle my friend and business partner. We work on some things together, and I was able to support him yesterday, totally behind the scenes, but he was kind enough to bring me on. And he interviewed me and he asked me, so Sean, what would you tell people about timing right now? And why did you pick the name Personal Undevelopment? What does the undevelopment mean? Because remember, he's Jim Rohn, personal development. So he loves the little play on words. You've been doing the principles, yet still not there, and you're frustrated. Listen, in many cases, for many of you, it's just a slight tweak that needs to happen. It's just the slightest of tweaks. Here's one. You may want to sit down with this next one popping up. For every excuse you have, somebody's already doing it. For every excuse you have, somebody's already doing it. Well, I can't do this. Somebody's already doing it. I can't do that. Somebody's already doing it. 1% of the population think, 2% think they think, the other 97% would rather die than think. So when you ask one of your friends, hey, what do you think about this? And they go, geez, I don't know. It's probably the first time they're not lying. Thinking requires a tremendous amount of focus, a tremendous amount of conversation. You'll hear, when you read some biographies, you'll hear where people built stone cabins away from the main house that have nothing in them except a table and a candle. It's where they would go to think. Their man cave had nothing in it because they needed to eliminate the distractions. So I want to help you stretch your thinking. I want to help you stretch your thinking. I want to put you in a place that allows you to really start to pull it yourself. Right? When Liz put the note card on her mask, boy, that was a simple thing, but man, it stretched her thinking, because now she's probably thought of 4 or 5 other things that she could do with something like that. Some of you may start using it for marketing. If you're in the grocery store, my company's paying for my groceries. How do you do that? Imagine being a walking billboard. Some of you may not have the courage to do that. Some of you may. Could you imagine that? Free groceries, and you have that on the front of your mask. Think that might draw attention? I don't know. Stretch your thinking. Stretch your thinking. What if you, for those of you in trading, what if you put the symbols of a stock that you're looking to trade? I don't know. Stretch your thinking. What if you put a before and after picture on your mask of somebody who's gotten healthy, and you're the one with all of the Cinnabons in your cart, and it's you. Because here's what's valuable. We're all looking for an elegant solution. What would an elegant solution look like? What does elegance look like in your business? What is an elegant solution that when you stretch your mind, you will come up with that elegant solution? When you look at yeah, it's your thinking. Absolutely. Don't ask for things to be easier. Ask for you to get better. Don't wish things were easier. Wish you were better. So, elegant solution. When you look at some of the high-end luxury cars, the way things fit together, the shapes that they have, it's elegant. It's exotic. Can you come up with an exotic, elegant solution for your business? Here's the challenge. Here's what makes it difficult to do that. Self-limiting beliefs. Whatever comes after the words, I can't prospect right now. I can't build a website. I can't do this. I can't talk to people. I can't enroll people. I can't. Those are your self-limiting beliefs. Using Noah St. John and his affirmations, what if you were to ask, why am I so good at fill in the blank? The brain looks for two things. Will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? Will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? Since the amygdala is on high alert and the hippocampus and the hypothalamus and all of those things are constantly talking down the amygdala in your brain, looking for the saber-toothed tiger. It's what's called habitualization. When we habitualize ourselves, when we become habitized, I don't know if that's a word, and when we become habitized to our environment, like right now in my office, if all of a sudden I heard a new noise, it would bring my attention to it, because the brain is constantly nexting in a variety of areas in your life. It's nexting for the chair that you're sitting in. It's nexting for the bottle of the cup you're about to pick up. It's nexting for whether the coffee's hot or not, all while you're listening to me. So if there's an opportunity to alternate, to change the course of your limiting beliefs and turn those into questions your brain would really want to answer. Why am I so good at prospecting? Why am I so good at believing in myself? Why am I so good at standing up in front of a room? Because let me ask you this. What do you want to be known for? What do you want to be recognized as an expert for? How many of you actually have that? Mine is mental profits. Mine is that when people have a conversation with me, they'll get a solution that they haven't been able to receive any place else. Has very little to do with my business. But when they sit down with me, they will hear ideas that they have never heard anyplace else. And they'll go, oh, that's awesome. That's what I want to be recognized for. Mental profits. Your thoughts create your income. What you're thinking about is producing your income. And income has very little to do with money. It has everything to do with your joy, has everything to do with your happiness, with your family, with your finance, with your society, with your body, with your mind, and with your spirituality. What's coming into your life? It's going to be a sad day when those are all balanced. We're always working for balance. They will, if they're ever in balance, there's probably a good chance you're not here. As a human being, as somebody with drive, as somebody with passion and desire, there's always going to be an imbalance. It's being able to control the story, adjust the story to deal with the imbalance. You're going to go build your business, you're going to be out of balance, possibly in your family. You're going to spend time with family. I hope you're out of balance with your business. You'll have things set up. Listen, yesterday I was totally out of balance with my Daily Awakening community. 100% out of balance. But I had a plan. You all stepped up. Ronda stepped up. Monique stepped up. You all stepped up. Everybody had conversations. Everybody supported. Liz stepped up. Liz came back today and showed what she did. It showed that the plan worked. That was social proof. Rhonda said, I'm going to take some of the pictures. So Rhonda was recognized yesterday as somebody to give guidance, to help somebody that it works. Social proof. What do you want to be recognized for? You know how many people talked about Liz's mask yesterday going, oh my gosh, this cute girl. I thought she was in high school. She looks so young, right? But I was able to graduate her. How cute an idea. Go put a sticky note on your mask. It was a simple, it was an elegant solution. What do you want to be known for? And how long do you want to be known for that? Listen, you may change what you want to be known for, what you want to be recognized as an expert for. I want to build people. I happen to be in a business model that if I build people amazingly well, people will pay me. Other people will pay me. Not even the person I'm building will pay me because I'm building people. Y'all get that? I help build Ronda. I help build Leslie. I help give them guidance, give them suggestions. I help with a Sharon. I help with a Lewis. I help with a Heather. They don't pay me. They don't. But I get paid handsomely for helping them grow. See, this is a world right now. You can become wildly rewarded if you build people. Ron and Kyle yesterday built 100+ people for 2 days. 16 hours times 100, that's 1,600 hours. They built, they put in, they helped build people. They got 1,600 hours of building for 16 hours of work. That's called exponential possibilities. Jim Rohn came up with these 5 reasons to succeed. I'm going to have you write these down. Number 1, Jim Rohn would say the reason to succeed is you got to eat. Right? You got to have some stuff. Kyle Wilson, when he did his interview, his podcast with Darren Hardy, and Darren hasn't done a podcast in 3 years, Darren claims Jim Rohn is one of his mentors, and Kyle is one of his best friends because Kyle helped Darren move through success. So when Kyle went to Darren's house, this was the epitome. He said it was the epitome of Jim Rohn's number 1 reason to succeed, because Darren said, you only live in about 4 places in your house. So those 4 places are like wildly over the top. His chair in his office, the place where he has coffee in the morning, his bed, his bedroom. He says the rest of the places, you never hang out in them. Why not expand? So think about this. When you go build your dream house, maybe you love taking spas, and you'll have this most amazing, you'll have a bathroom that's 4,000 square feet. You're going to spend your time there. Why not have it the best? Why limit it based upon somebody else's idea of construction? Y'all get me? If you love sipping coffee, maybe you'll have a coffee nook. Maybe you'll have the $18,000 espresso machine, but you won't have a 3rd bathroom. So Jim Rohn says, number 1 reason to succeed is you got to eat. Have the things that you want in life. Number 2, what's important to you? Meaning, what is it that you really want? What are some dreams that you want to come true? What are some of the things that you believe as you acquire them will give you that, I got it? Number 3, family. What do you want to provide? I'm looking here in the chats. Cool. Number 3, well, family. What do you want to provide for your family? Is it college for your grandkids? Is it college for your kids? Do you want to provide a space of love, of gratitude, of joy? Is it a house of harmony? I walk through my house every day. When I walk out of my office, sometimes sitting here between calls and between Zooms, I'll just holler, I love my family. And if Michelle is in the middle of a meeting and she's on mute, I can hear her. Her office is right above my office. If Mason is on his computer, he's on the top side of the other side of the house. He'll usually holler back. Usually what'll happen is when I holler that out, the puppies will come running in going, we love you too. We love you too. What do you want to provide for your family? Oh, I take that back. I take that back. My numbers got messed up here. So 1 is what do you want? Number 2 is family. So for those of you typing in the chat, forgive me. What do you want is part of the number 1. You know, you got to eat. So number 1 is what do you want? What do you need? Number 2 is family. Thank you for those typing in the chat. Number 3, oh, you ready? Oof. Who do you want to serve? Who do you want to serve? What community? I'm starting an Innercircle. And you all will be the first ones allowed to be invited to it. But I'm going to start an Innercircle. And it's going to be a fee-based Innercircle. These calls will still go on, but there'll be a fee-based Innercircle where we really dive into more than a 3-hour call, but it's more of a one-on-one conversation with this Innercircle group. So what community, what group do you want to serve? Number 4, I can say it, I can't spell it. Philanthropic. What do you want to be known for? Kyle talks about when he was building Jim Rohn, he used to give 6 figures a year to a charity in Africa, because they used to call him and say, listen, we'd love to have you come over. We'd love to have you show up here. We'd love to have you participate and volunteer. He goes, wait a minute. He says, you got 40 volunteers that are waiting to serve you, but they can't get there because they can't afford the ticket or they can't afford this. Can I just write you the check and you can get those 40 people over there and they can do all of the work? I said, well, yeah. So sometimes your volunteering may be paying to help other people volunteer. So what is your philanthropic give back? Those are some good reasons to succeed. Number 5, what you become. What will you become through your success? That's why you should be successful, because there's a part of you that needs to, that inner part of you needs to show up. That inner part of you needs to step to the next level. What will you become? What are you becoming? And is that what you want to become? How many times do we see people who look back at their life and they go, this is not what I anticipated. This is not what I intended. Money doesn't solve all of the problems. Money makes you more of what you want. Have you set up your core of what you want right now in this moment? Because money is not the solution. More money is not the solution. I could send you $5. That ain't the solution. More money is not the solution. It's an adapting and an adopting of a new set of criteria that you will operate by. And then Kyle says, here's one. Kyle added this one. This one's going to be huge. Let me just check the comments. Y'all may want to sit down for this one. Number 6. This one's good. Y'all ready? If you're ready for number 6, drop a 6 in the chat. Okay, 7. Here. What have you become is because of who you've been in the process, right? That's made you. So that's part of number 5. Here's number 6. It gets you a seat at the table. The reason to succeed is it gets you a seat at the table. Listen, some of you know Nano. If you know Nano, drop an N in the chat. If you know Nano. Yeah, most of you do. Listen, when we did our interview with Les Brown a couple of weeks ago, the only one that got to ask a question was Nano. The one who did the devotional was Ronda. Why did they do that? They got a seat at the table. Why did Nano get a seat at the table? Listen, he's got mentors who have been on stage with Les Brown, who probably have Les Brown in their phone. But they've never brought Nano up to have a seat at the table. I did. Why? because he's served me well. He's brought many of you. He's allowed me to flow into his audience. I've allowed him to flow into my audience. We serve each other well. And in doing so, he got a seat at the table. When I called him the day before and I said, Nano, you want to ask Les a question? He goes, yeah, I would. I go, no, I mean live tomorrow on the interview. He goes, what? 5 reasons to succeed. Number 6 from Kyle Wilson is it gets you a seat at the table. Y'all follow that? So I'm going to go through these next couple ones. The 6 reasons you need to find your secret sauce. I'm going to do a training on this because this is an in-depth. It'll be about a 4 or 5 hour training, a live Zoom that you can participate in. But the 6 reasons you need, the 6 areas to find your secret sauce. Number 1 is your skills. You need to write down what you do well. You need to write down the things you are good at. I mean, everything. You do not leave anything off. And this isn't about your business. Even if you're good at that, that's part of it. This isn't only just about your business. What do you do well? What things are you good at? And you need to create an exhaustive list because there's a reason in the 6 areas. Number 2 is what are your passions? What are your hobbies? What moves you? What keeps you up at night thinking about what you want to accomplish? What do people say you seem to be obsessed with? These are important. Number 3, well, that's part of the program. Number 4, number 5, number 6. Number 6 is just as important as the rest. And in the training I'll do, you'll get the other ones. But here's number 6. What are you against? What are you against? I'm against frivolous lawsuits. I'm against people stepping on people's throats to get ahead. I'm against people thinking they've got to stand on people's shoulders so they can be seen and not letting people stand on theirs. I'm against somebody telling you it's easy. It's simple, but it ain't easy. I'm against personal development. I'm for undevelopment, personal undevelopment. I'm against people reading a book once. I think they should read it a dozen times before they go on to the next one. Here's a couple other little tidbits. These are just some notes of I think there's 4 ladders of success. The next level up are experts. Now, experts may have been generalists who become the master of what they do. An expert is someone who has mastered the field, but they're still, to a degree, competing with other experts. We're paying experts based on their presumed expertise. So Bukumi asked earlier, well, how do you describe value? We're paying value is based, some people base it on expertise. That's why we reward them. But the big goal is where we want to become a celebrity authority. And here's what's most important thing you need to understand about when you earn celebrity authority. They're not paid for what they do. They're not paid for what they know. They're paid for who they are. The bigger the celebrity, the more money they earn. Would you agree with that? I have no idea what Harrison Ford knows or doesn't know. I have no idea what Sofia Vergara knows or does not know. I have absolutely no clue what George Clooney knows and does not know. But they get paid, or Jim Carrey, they get paid millions of dollars because they're celebrity. I'm going to encourage you to start to work on how do you become a celebrity expert. Listen, Dave Ramsey is a celebrity expert in the financial world. Right? She went to prison. What was her name? She does all of the crazy shows, cooking shows. Martha Stewart. I didn't know she had enough business knowledge to go to jail. Right? Some of the biggest people that we pay money to are comedians to make us laugh. Comedians are going to be in high demand coming out of COVID. People are going to need a reason to laugh. So what will you become a celebrity expert in? What can you become a celebrity expert in? Imagine, so this, Liz, this just hit me. Imagine, I have a very dear friend who's made me masks, but she put shields in here and sealed it so that people can see me talk. So that when I'm doing speeches and if there's a translator for the deaf, sign language, doing sign language, they can read my lips and they can hear me, but they can read my lips and they can still translate. But she put a plastic shield so that my mouth is visible. Imagine, Liz, this just came to me. What if you were to somehow put a little flexible whiteboard? How cool would that be? To put a flexible whiteboard on the mask on the outside. Wouldn't that be cool? Because we put the sticky note, but now all of a sudden you just glue it. You just, I don't know, because you don't have to sew it in. It might be hard to breathe through. But imagine if you put it on the side, you put little sticky notes and you're out, hey, have a nice day. Isn't it crazy to think that all of a sudden we've got to start thinking, how do we make masks more enjoyable? What's happened in the world? But anyway, so those are different things. That, again, that's the way my mind works. The shortcut, become a celebrity authority, become a best-selling author. Y'all start figuring out how to write your books. If you want to be a part of a book, Kyle does that, right? So that's what I'm a part of here. So this was a collaboration book, right? There's Mom and Dadpreneurs. There's Life Defining Moments. I mean, no, this is Life Defining Moments. So that's all available. Things like that are available to you to be a part of a book, to become a best-selling author. I'm not selling that. I'm just saying these are the conversations. And that's the end of the slideshow. Stop share. That's over here. Stop share. Oh, I got to thank Kayla. Kayla, happy Mother's Day. But also thank you I heard you were holding court. We call it in the speaking world. You were holding court yesterday, keeping everybody on the edge of their seat. So thank you, my love, for sharing yesterday. And thanks for supporting Rhonda and the crew in the Daily Awakening community. Does that help, folks? Was that valuable to you this morning, that content?
Yes, and thank you so much for always bringing value to us.
You bet. And so listen, next weekend, this was a 2-day memory and marketing seminar. Next weekend, we're doing virtually again our mastermind, our Innercircle mastermind. So we will have people from all over the world that I'll be attending. So I will be out of pocket again, RBP, probably next Saturday. So
Oh, dear God. At least you gave them warning this time.
I gave you plenty of warning. Yep. So what'd you learn? What'd you like from this morning's presentation? What'd you take? What's a couple of takeaways you had? Anybody? What'd you learn? What'd you like? Raise your hand and I'll call on you. Or Alex, go ahead, Alex.
Good morning. It was good. What's
Good
up?
morning in Serbia.
Well, it's almost afternoon, but yeah, we can work with that. Anyways, Sean, you know how it is with you. I always need to choose between what I most liked and loved. But all these nuggets were, ooh boy, these were better than the McDonald's nuggets.
Yep.
These were, oh boy. The best thing I think is the last sort of thing we did, which is the areas on where to find your sauce.
Yeah.
And that's something I've been fighting with for.
Did you disappear, Alex? And his headset dropped off or something. Oh, he got cut off. So we'll come back to Alex. Gigi, where's my Gigi? Good morning, Gigi. Hey, there's my Gigi. Good morning, Gigi.
Good morning, Sean. So one thing I learned was it really is just a little change that you have to do. I've always felt it to be something so dramatic, but it's just like a little tweak. And one thing I loved was I feel like you were coming for me the whole time that you were talking, but it was like I needed you to come for me because I needed to hear this.
Now, did you say comfort you or come for you?
Come for me.
Yeah, well, so here's a little FYI. If I ever come for you, you won't know it. So, but yes, we need you, Gigi. The world needs you. And I'm not going to let you sit on your laurels and 5 years from now going, well, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Every one of you has so much more talent and capability than I do. I've just gotten very good at a very specific niche, and I would encourage you. And that's what this training is going to do when I bring it out. So I'll probably make the offer maybe tomorrow for you guys. You guys will have a special price for it, but normally it's like $4.99. But you guys will have a special price for it, and I'll tell you about that tomorrow. How do you get a book? You probably right now, the website's getting kind of redone for you to get that. But remind me tomorrow, Laura, and we'll figure that out, because I may have my team in the Philippines is working on that now. So it should be ready for you to be able to click and receive it. And if you want an autograph copy, well, now that's a special one. So, but we'll talk about that. Thank you for asking that. So thank you for that, Gigi. Let's see, did that help, Gigi? Was there anything else you wanted to share?
Other than a lot of the questions that you answered were in my journal. That's it.
Awesome. Good morning. Let's go to Nevada. Let's go to Las Vegas and Sharon. Good morning, Sharon. You're on line 2.
Good morning. I was feverishly taking notes and taking screenshots and stuff. You know, it's interesting because one of the things that I learned from you is that I've heard a lot of those phrases. I've been to a zillion trainings, but there's some way that you present things that usually gives it another little twist. So observing you doing that is part of what I learned, is just watching you do that. And I realized that my stomach kind of goes into a knot, like, who's your audience? Because I'm still working on how do I know who my audience is. And our conversation yesterday made me realize that I want an audience that shows up. That's what I want, is an audience that shows up. And when you asked, what do you want to be known for? And I realized one of the things that I've done is reinvent myself entirely. I mean, have a successful career as a teacher, a successful career on Wall Street, a successful career as a counselor, a successful career in network marketing, which I'm working on. But I, reinventing myself is part of what I do because I'm going to my next level. So learning how to package that in a way that I can get those people who want to show up would just be worth millions, wouldn't it?
and as I went through it with Kyle, and he just touched on it. It was part of his 8 hours of training, but one part was the secret sauce and the simplicity of it. But for Godfather, I'm trying to think of his name. I just went blank on his name. He does a 3-day personal development workshop, and this is a huge part of it. So
Proctor?
No, it's he's the real estate guys. It'll come to me. I got the Godfather's book right over here. I'll think of it in a second. But so yeah, I'm glad but this is you get your secret sauce, then you write your own checks.
Right.
It's really that powerful. Because
right.
You just absolutely don't hover any place else that's not wildly income producing, be it money or otherwise. I'm excited to go through it because I've done it before, but yesterday again, right? Repetition is the key to, and so going through it yesterday with Kyle, I'm like, okay, I got to teach this. I got to bring this out there. So we'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's I love you.
I love you too. And let's go from Las Vegas, Nevada down to Puerto Rico. Good morning, Louis.
Morning, Sean. How are you today?
Outstanding, brother.
Very good, very good. That's good. So this call was on fire. Like, I needed this call, honestly. I really needed it. So the thing that impacted me most was the very first line you said. It's not your desire that's lacking, it's that you have a bad plan.
That one hit me square between the eyes again. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard Kyle say it. So yes, it was like a little flick right there.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, you have the desire. What are the points you're losing? What are your weak points? And I know that's something I have to work on. It's not your desire that's lacking. It's you just have a bad plan, Michael.
Yeah.
So I realized that I procrastinate a lot. Like, it's something I naturally do. I try to be the most productive I can, but at some point of the day, I just, oh man, I'm tired. I wanna relax a bit, and I don't know why, but I just do it.
So in Lynn Grabhorn's book, Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. If you're going, don't use that as I need to relax. Take it as this is your recharge moment. This is my time to relax. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to read, get in my DIY pool. I'm going to do whatever it is. But it's the way we set up the distraction that makes it a distraction. When I decide if I want an ice cream bar, I go, this is my reward. This is my reward. So don't go to the thing. I'm exhausted. I just need to relax. Go, I'm tired right now. This is the time I choose to relax.
I couldn't actually hear that. I just saw you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So I just saw you do it. You dig a hole and then you get.
Man, I'm not hearing you.
You're not.
I don't know what's happening.
It's a signal.
I'm seeing like a mime right now, and you're like.
Can
I don't know what's up with this audio.
Can the rest of y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
It's my internet. Can you guys hear him? Is it just me?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's me.
And here's why it's just you, Louis. Can you hear me now? It's because if we gave him that secret,
yeah,
his life would change.
I just lost you. Damn.
We'll come back to Louis.
There's something I tell my students every day, and it's that when you're about to have a breakthrough, an awakening, the world will throw everything at you. And I learned that from you, actually. Like, look how it is.
Can you hear me now, Louis?
Right now, I'm just having like an aha moment. I was like, oh, so I don't actually procrastinate. I just do what I need. Damn.
Can you hear me, Louis? That's so funny. So, Kayla's dying laughing because this happens to Kayla all the time. So, here we go. We're going to come back to Louis. Daniela, good morning, my love.
Good morning. How are you today?
There you are. How are you?
I'm good. Oh my goodness. I just had an amazing laugh with that. Oh, that was funny. I just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the mommies out there.
Hey, mommies. Happy Mother's Day.
One thing that I loved was the fact that don't build your business, build yourself.
And that's what makes that hard in our profession is when you have a leader who is lacking.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this, that I'm just now I'm coming for some throats, because when you have leaders who are lacking and they have you push the company, it's because that builds their check.
Right.
If you can help them build them the person outside of the company, the marketing plan will always pay no matter who you build. The challenge is if the company goes away, there went that build. I'd rather build the people so that they don't ever walk away. We always walk in unison. So, yeah.
Right. I totally agree. And to be honest with you, the other day I pretty much I didn't go off, and I was still respectable to my upline. That's how you want to say it.
Right.
But I did. I had to say what was on my mind. I was like, I feel like that there's a place and time for everything. And I feel that I need to be working on myself and my image right now, where everything else I feel like will follow. And the moment that I started doing that, I started getting prospects. I started getting new recruits. I started getting new clients. Like, I'm in the financial. Another thing that you said is like, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to leave behind you? I want to leave a legendary, like, I want people to talk about me decades after I pass away. Like, this person was the person that helped me turn my life around, helped me get out of the situation that I was in. Like, I want people to know that I made a difference in people's lives.
So
Like,
here's the question. The reason that I do all of the videos and all of the trainings and all of the things that I do, it's secondary for you all. It's primary for my son.
Right.
It's why a lot of it is no fee. Because all I'm doing is creating an archive for him and for generations to come.
Right.
So think about, as you start to build your archive for the legacy you plan to leave. And since there's places out there that will store videos, YouTube or otherwise, just start using those platforms. If you do things on social media, download it, save it, because you don't own any of that. All of the videos and trainings I do are archived on hard drives and terabytes. I have 50 terabyte worth of content. That when we had a storm the other day, a couple of months back, you know what I grabbed? Wasn't anything out of my closet. It was the terabytes of hard drives. I have a case that I can throw all of them in to carry with me in 60 seconds.
That's awesome.
So as you start to do this, nobody's going to care about your social media if Facebook goes down. Oh, I lost everything. I can't tell you how many people I've had lose all of their contacts because a group got shut down or this got shut down. Please have your content with you. Be able to take your content with you. So the two things I carried were all of the terabytes, the hard drives, and all of my notebooks, all of my journals. Now this is just from a year. So
wow.
I have literally, it's in a wheeled, it's in a tote on wheels, my journals. So just think about that as you go along. Because there's tremendous content you have to offer. And even if you don't post all of the videos, just create them. Like right now, I'm just sitting here, was sitting in a mastermind with the Daily Awakening crew, and this came to me, blah, 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 and just write and get the notes out, because that's how you start to trigger the brain to come up with new ideas. That's how you start to trigger the reticular activated system, the RAS.
Yeah.
So that you start to find more and see more and do more. And all of a sudden you start taking off and you're like a rocket. You go, all of a sudden you're gone.
Okay.
Cool. Does that help?
Yep. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the giggle.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We're going to go a little out of order here for just a second. I want to go to Titus. He gave blessing. I first want to say thank you to him. But Titus, you got your hand up. Welcome to the Daily Awakening community. We're a bunch of misfits. Good morning.
Awesome. That means I'll fit in quite well.
Yes.
Couple things. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Sean, you have a new friend. It's nice to meet you.
It's a privilege, Titus.
And the last lady was talking about how she started working on herself. And I noticed in one of the comments further up the way in the chat, somebody was talking about their joy and their income and how they have joy, their joy is leveling up, but their income isn't. And I would talk to that or suggest to that person the same thing as the last lady: work on your self-image, work on your self-worth. And when you start doing that, you'll start attracting attracting what you're looking for, right? But it has to start inside of you. You have to become that person. You have to become that person that makes that money. You have to become the person that makes that amount or whatever. You have to become that person that, so I went through a dream workshop and built the dream.
Oh, cool.
And yes, sir. And I would suggest people build the dream of their life and write it down and start painting that picture and then walking into